What up, guys? Doing a quick review for the brand new Alcest or Alcest, however you pronounce it, called Shelter. They are a French showgaze post metal kind of band, and I do enjoy their music. I like their first two albums, Souvenirs d'une Autre Monde. Sorry for butchering it. I don't speak French. And Escaliers de Lune. Both those albums, especially Souvenirs. Especially the opener, Printemps Emeraude, sorry, but the first song, which has one of the best intros and most beautiful intros I've ever heard in my life, and the album itself and the next album are both pretty good. Now, a couple years ago, they released an album. I can't remember its name. Sorry, but that obviously means I wasn't really interested. And with this new album, this is definitely with that kind of album transition with a much more new take on their sound. It's much more light. It's much more accessible. It's very showgaze still and very post-rock in the clean lead tones and the song structures. There are vocals. Now it's very similar to Souvenirs, where Alcest had the harsher vocals, the black metalish vocals, where Souvenirs was complete clean singing. It's the same deal on this record. It's still very good though. I mean, his voice of the guitarist / singer is very light, very airy. It gives off a really upbeat vibe. And this album opens up very upbeat. Well, it has a first track, Wings, but that's really nothing. Opale, which is very upbeat. It's nice, not really fast at all. Very calm, very mellow. This is pretty much this whole album. But that's where problems come in. One, it has one song structure throughout this entire album. Light, airy, very reverbed and echo leads with pretty chords and very soft and upbeat vocals. And the whole album is very upbeat. I mean, if the problems I have with this album are a lot of it sounds the same, especially the third track, La Nuit Marseille avec Oi, which is almost for me. Thought I was still listening to Opale. A lot of this album just seems to drag for me. I mean, it's still pretty good. I will say that there's nothing really bad about this album. It's still it's still enjoyable to listen to. But nothing's really changing throughout most of this album. Most of it stays within the same kind of context. Nothing really sticks out after the first song, and of course the ender, which is a 10-minute song, Deliverance. I will say a positive is that not a lot of these songs drag on. A lot of these songs are within the 5-minute, averaging around 5.5 minutes, with the exception of the last track, Deliverance, which is a 10-minute epic, which is actually one of the better tracks on here. It's a little bit faster, it's a little bit more complex in the arrangement, other than kind of going through a variation of just upbeat soft parts to more slower, kind of atmospheric, if you will say, touches. That's really all I have to really say about this album. It's good, but it's not great. I mean, it's still enjoyable to listen to, but I honestly won't really remember this after time. The positives I can say is that this is definitely a good album. There are a lot of good things about it. I mean, the leads, the chord choices are all very nice and fitting for the songs. The problem is that I feel like that's recycled constantly throughout, especially since this album kind of feels like one big clustered song. Also, I don't particularly like the style they've been going in. I was very much a fan of what on Souvenirs and De Lune did with the very melancholic tones, the high distortion, the harsh vocals that came on De Lune. Those were the more memorable parts of Alcest that I really enjoyed, and I really wish they brought that back. But for this style, it fits. It's pretty decent. Subscribe and comment. Keep it metal. Peace.